Okay, now we are live. Welcome everyone and good afternoon. So this is the session 2 of the day 2 of the Congress, and we have Flavia Dinca with us. If you remember, I announced her and introduced her yesterday, so you already know everything there is to know. But just in case you miss it, she's the chair of IEEE Young Professionals, a theme that it's really increasing every day, and yeah, she's taking care of that. So the session title is the new IEEE platform, Volunteering on Your Terms, and you will hear more about it from Flavia. So Flavia, thank you for joining us and welcome.
Hi, Vinko. Thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you for having me today. Hello, everybody. Great to see you all again. I think today we would like to start the session a bit differently. So we have Vinko today with us, but we also have Barbara and Ines. And from our side, we would like to say a few celebrate Vinko's birthday. Ines, Barbara? Happy birthday, Vinko. Thank you very much for all your work with IEEE and young professionals and all the amazing things you're doing.
You guys are crazy. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, now I'm gonna start receiving 1,000 happy birthday wishes.
Exactly. I would like to encourage everybody to use the chat and wish Vinko happy birthday as well.
Yeah, happy birthday, Vinko.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Okay. So I think we can maybe start the session. I see there's a bit of echo. I think, Barbara, if you don't mind muting your line, hopefully that should fix it. Okay, great. So today we're going to talk a bit about the IEEE Volunteering Program. As you heard yesterday during the opening session, some people refer to it as micro-volunteering, and it's something you've probably heard quite a bit over the past few years. So I'm just going to give you a quick presentation with a bit of the boring stuff, like what we've done since 2017 and how we got where we are today. And then I'm going to show you the actual live platform and do a bit of a demo around that. So let me just quickly go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and hopefully you guys will be able to see my slides. Vinko, Ines, Barbara, can one of you confirm you guys can see my slides okay?
Yes, it's working well.
Okay, perfect. Great, so far there are no tech glitches. So IEEE Volunteering, what we would like to look at as volunteering on your own terms, and sort of a new dawn to how people get engaged in IEEE. So as I mentioned, we're going to look a bit at the background and the challenges to volunteering within IEEE, what we used to call the micro-volunteering project and what we've done in the past 3 years, where we are today, and our plans for the future. So looking a bit at the background, back in 2016, there was a thing called a segmentation study, and this is something IEEE does every 3 to 4 years, where they go ahead and ask a whole bunch of questions to a large number of members to figure out what they like about IEEE, what they would like to see happening, what their interests are, what services they like, and so forth. And it ends up being this absolutely huge study on our members and what we should do in the future. And what that study found out was that around 36% of higher grade members and almost 60% of young professionals want to be more involved in IEEE and hold leadership positions, but they do not know how to do so or are not invited to. And this is quite a significant proportion of our membership base. And what's more concerning is the fact that these exact members have the lowest satisfaction rates and are the least likely to renew their membership. And we do know for a fact that we do lose a lot of members every year. So we're pretty good at recruiting new people, but they don't tend to stay in IEEE. The study also found out that around 45% of students do not know how to get involved in IEEE. So they would very much like to do something, they just don't know how to get started. It also looked at things like barriers to engagement, and lack of time remains the main barrier, whether it's for professional purposes or personal reasons. People mentioned that they simply do not have the time to make long-term commitments to IEEE or dedicate a significant amount of their time to IEEE. And during this time, we also saw a very concerning trend amongst young professionals. So we had a concerning decrease in our membership and very low satisfaction rates. Only around 20% of young professionals felt connected to IEEE's mission, and just under 30 thought IEEE was actually relevant to them. And also one of the quotes did bring up the fact that, right, young people do want to get involved with IEEE, but once you graduate, it becomes more challenging since, right, you have a job. A lot of young people start having families and so forth, and you have all of these competing priorities in your life, and you would still like to do something for IEEE, but IEEE simply doesn't provide people with opportunities that are suitable to them. So this is how the microvolunteering project was born. Back at the end of 2016, the team at the time came up with what we like to call the Young Professionals Business Plan that had 5 different projects, one of which was microvolunteering. And it went all the way up to the IEEE Board of Directors. So we had Mario, who was the chair at the time, and Rafal, who was the IEEE Young Professionals chair for 2017 and 2018. And he's also from Region 8, who actually went ahead and presented, and the board of directors loved the project, they loved the idea, and they committed to actually fund this project for several years. And the purpose of this platform was to provide flexible volunteering opportunities worldwide for young people, so we would meet them where they are, and we would address their needs when it comes to engagement, but also to facilitate knowledge and experience sharing between more experienced volunteers and new volunteers. So sort of, if you want to look at it as a mentorship program between volunteers. And what we did, we went ahead and actually shared the platform we chose with a bunch of groups across IEEE for 2 pilots we conducted in 2018 and 2019. These were limited pilots, so we only had 25 groups join the platform. And the way it worked is that each group had its own community, as it was called. So, for example, I'm based in Sweden, so I'm part of Sweden section, but I'm also a member of the PES Society, that's Power and Energy. So in my case, during that pilot, I was able to see any activity that was going on either in the Sweden community or in the Power Energy Society community. Otherwise, nothing else existed for me on that platform. No volunteering opportunities from other groups, no users, no engagement methods. So it really put like people in small boxes and segmented the users into that. And at that time, we thought it would be good because probably people are only interested in volunteering for their own groups and in their own local area. And that was basically the capability of the platform at the time. But what we found out is actually that was a huge limitation. And the opportunities that were the most interesting to people were virtual volunteering opportunities, or opportunities that allowed them to connect to other groups and other people, and to really, allow them to experience the global nature of IEEE. So we got to learn a lot from this pilots. We figured out that the platform wasn't exactly great. We received quite a few comments saying that it was quite outdated and it looked a bit like the 90s. So we thought maybe we shouldn't continue in that direction. So based on all of that feedback, late last year, we came up with what we refer today as the IEEE Volunteering Platform. So this is a direct continuation of the microvolunteering program, but it has grown quite a lot, and it tried to take into account all the things that we got to learn. So this platform, you will see that we no longer mention microvolunteering. It turns out that was a bit of a confusing term to use in a largely engineering community, since people started debating what's a micro-volunteering opportunity versus a nano-volunteering opportunity. Is 4 hours micro-volunteering or is it 5 hours? And there are all these discussions that, frankly, we never even thought people would consider, but it turns out that it complicated things. So we thought, let's keep it simple. Let's just call it IEEE Volunteering. And it's an IEEE-wide solution to recruit volunteers, manage volunteering teams, and track your volunteering work. Regardless whether it's an opportunity that's helping out at an event for 1 hour versus to serving as a webmaster for a group, or being a secretary or a chair, or literally any volunteering task you can think of within IEEE. The platform is currently live, and you can actually log in with your IEEE credentials, and I'll go through that in just a few minutes. And basically, the goals of this platform are to simplify the process of starting to volunteer. So as I mentioned earlier, it seems that a lot of people simply do not know how to start to volunteer in IEEE. And we do agree with that. We do know from a lot of people and from a lot of studies that the resources IEEE has online are simply too many and too confusing, and there's often not too much logic behind them. So we thought, let's just have one platform where people go and you just see a list of volunteering opportunities that are available. It also aims to provide flexible volunteering opportunities that are project and skill-based. It also provides virtual opportunities, and especially with the COVID situation, this has become our new normal, and we do think that even in the future, it will continue to be more based on virtual interactions than in person. So we thought this is also, sort of a beneficial aspect of the platform, that it no longer matters where you are based in the world. You can get engaged with IEEE based on your interests, the skills you have, and the direction you're interested in developing. It also has a feature that aims to enhance the recommendation and feedback process to recognize volunteering efforts, regardless of duration or intensity, because we do know that it is very important to acknowledge the works your volunteers do, and to sort of, highlight their efforts, because fundamentally, volunteers do give up their free time for your cause and to make a difference within their communities, and they do deserve all the recognition they can get. And we do acknowledge the fact that we can do a much better job in this area. And last but not least, the platform aims to encourage merit-based advancement along the IEEE career path. So we just want to make sure that people get leadership positions, and they get to advance based on the fact that they do deserve that they've done a good job in the past, they have the skills, they have the knowledge, as opposed to just the fact that they've sort of been volunteering for 10 years, so they're probably maybe good. So we just want to make sure that, the volunteering ecosystem within IEEE is healthy, it functions properly, and volunteers do get what they deserve. So to put it shortly, the IEEE Volunteering Platform is a cross-IEEE solution to recruiting volunteers. It enables an automating volunteering CV feature. So basically, the platform automatically tracks all the volunteering tasks you've completed. And I just want to highlight the fact that we're just at the beginning right now. So the platform development was completed just at the beginning of autumn, judging on Swedish terms, so that was pretty much beginning of August. And we're still working on a couple of bugs, and there's a long list of features and enhancements we would like to make, and it's going to be a continuously evolving platform based on your needs. So what we're going to do is actually run a user survey at the end of the year, and based on that, we will decide what features to actually develop next year, and so forth. So without further ado, let's take a look at the live platform. We're going to talk a bit about the role selection, the dashboard, and the two workflows, what we like to call the seeker workflow and the creator workflow. And I'm going to explain that on the platform itself. Okay, so you should be able to see my browser right now. Vinko, do you mind please confirming that?
Yes, Flavia, it is visible.
Perfect. Okay, so once you navigate to volunteer.ieee.org, you get to the homepage. It provides you information about the platform. But one thing I would like to highlight is the fact that it is fully mobile responsive. It works on your smartphone. It works on your tablet. It works on pretty much any device you would like it to work. So we wanted to make sure that no matter where you are, what you're doing, you're able to browse volunteering opportunities, find something you're interested in, and start volunteering for IEEE. So I'm just going to go ahead and sign in with my actual IEEE account. I just want to point out the fact that your IEEE account is whatever email you have associated with it. It's not your @IEEE.org unless you set it up that way. So do make sure you do know your IEEE credentials to log in. And now what the platform does, it automatically recognizes the fact that I'm currently a volunteer for IEEE and asks me, what do I want to do on the platform? Do I want to go ahead and find a new volunteering opportunity? In which case I will go with, I want to volunteer. This is what we call the seeker workflow, since I'm seeking an opportunity. Or do I want to recruit some more volunteers? Maybe we have some new stuff going on with young professionals, and we can always use a bit more help, in which case I'll go with, I need to find a volunteer, which is what we call our creator workflow, because this will enable me to create volunteering opportunities. Now, if you already are a volunteer for IEEE, you will get this option automatically, but for this, you will need to be part of the rosters. And this is why it's very important for student branches and affinity groups and sections and chapters and all the groups in IEEE to actually report their volunteers. Most of you will report it on vTools, so please do go ahead and do that. If you have questions on how to do that, please do let us know and we can point you in the right direction. There's a lot of resources on how to do that. For sections and regions, they report their volunteers usually in the beginning of the year. But again, if changes are made throughout the year, that should also be reported. And basically what happens is that once you log in, the system checks your IEEE records, and if you have volunteer flag, you get an option. If you don't, you will automatically go to the seeker workflow. And this is where I'm going to start. So this is the dashboard you're going to see if you're a regular member or even not a member at all. This is also open for non-members, but they're not able to actually apply for opportunities, but they can browse the platform. So what you're going to see is a count of your current activities, such as active opportunities, what items need your attention, how many volunteering opportunities you've completed, and the number of endorsements you have. And then you'll get to see listed any opportunities you have in progress. And on the right-hand side, you will see that the platform automatically shows you opportunities that are relevant to you. For example, the Atlanta Young Professionals Treasure opportunity is a 50% match for me because I have half of the skills they're actually requiring for this position. For video correspondent, it's only 7% match, and then the rest, it doesn't actually match any of my skills. But if I say anything interesting here, I can just easily go check out the opportunity, or I can go ahead and check the opportunities that I've actually favored previously and go ahead and actually apply or nominate other volunteers for this. So again, going to my opportunities tab, I would see more details, any of the current opportunities I'm engaged in. If I've been invited to volunteer for anything, it will show up here. Now, I just want to point out that the platform is brand new. We haven't actually widely advertised it. We're still in the process of engaging groups across IEEE and introducing them to the platform and growing the number of opportunities we have before we actively start publishing it to our members, which is why you'll see that there isn't much activity going on. Now going on to the opportunities tab, Currently, we have 13 volunteering opportunities that are live. And you can see basically the list is just sort of a snapshot of the opportunities. They're accepting applicants. It's a 50% match to my interests. So let's go ahead and actually see what it's about. Now, when I'm actually going to the opportunity, I see a bit of a description. I see the start and end date. It's estimated around 30 hours in total. So that's really not that much time considering the fact that it's an opportunity that will last for 2 years. They're looking for 1 volunteer, and these are some of the skills they require. So if I'm interested in this, I can go ahead and apply, or I can go ahead and nominate a volunteer. So for example, if there is someone on the platform who I know who might be interested, I can just type their name and send them an invitation. Since this is a live platform, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to confuse any people. I've accidentally done that in previous demos, and I had quite a few people really excited that they got a new volunteering opportunity, which turned out to just be a test. So I'm not going to go around and mess with it right now. And then on the right side, I can see that Tamsil was the person who actually provided this opportunity. So I can go ahead and send him an email or contact him within the platform if I have any additional questions. Now, I can also go ahead and filter opportunities based on the skills they required. Say, for example, I do enjoy graphic design. I think I'm pretty good at it. And I would like to volunteer in this area because I haven't done this since my pretty much my Region 8 days. So I can easily see what's available based on that and apply. I can check based on categories. So for example, there's several categories. These are just the ones we have opportunities for right now. But there's, for example, humanitarian opportunities, technical opportunities, and so forth. I can check based on duration, location. So for example, if I'm looking for something going on in Stockholm, Sweden, or if I'm going to move somewhere else and I want to get involved there, I can do that. Or I can just check for online opportunities, and which is probably what we would like to do these days. Which means that, right, it no longer matters where I am in the world. What matters is what I'm actually good at and what I'm interested in. And another thing the platform allows you to do actually is just browse the volunteers. So currently we see that we have 155 people who have logged in, accepted the terms and conditions, set up their profile, and are right on the platform. And what I can actually do, again, I can filter based on skills. So for example, let's say I'm thinking about maybe organizing a webinar about, I don't know, let's say 5G. That's a trendy topic these days. And I see right there's 17 people who listed 5G as a skill they have. So if I go ahead and, host a webinar on that topic, chances are quite a few people will apply for it. So I'll get a bit of a choice. Or again, I can search for people in my area. For example, if I would like to set up meeting in Stockholm with volunteers, I can see who's there. I can see that I'm there. Great news. And I can see that Alex, who's from KTH, is also in my area. So then I can go ahead and set up a meetup, and I'll have 2 people right now. Probably not too successful. Another thing that it lets you do is actually see your previous team members. So again, if I would have had any opportunities I completed, I'll be able to see the people I worked with here. So this would allow you to just keep track of the people you worked with. You can contact them. You can see what other opportunities they've been doing, what they've been up to, and so forth. So yeah, if you'd like to, for example, work with them again or recommend them for an opportunity, it would be a handy list to have. Now, going really quickly, I will swap roles, and I will show you what happens when you're actually looking to create a volunteering opportunity. Now, everything is going to be the same. The dashboard is the same. I have the relevant and favorite opportunities on the right side, the exact same tabs. The only difference is that right now I have the Create Opportunity button. And this is perhaps the exciting part. I just want to mention that as any volunteer can create an opportunity. So you don't have to be a young professional. And this is why you're not really going to see young professional logos on the platform or in the presentation. The only thing is that you will see it on the homepage that it's powered by young professionals. But we do want to distance the platform from the idea that it's just for young professionals, because it's not. As I mentioned, it's IEEE wide. So for example, if you're looking for someone to help you out with your student branch or your affinity group or whichever other group across IEEE you're part of, you can go onto the platform right now and create an opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly create a dummy opportunity just to show you guys how to do it. And let's just say that looking for why not? Since it's Vinco's birthday, let's go ahead and celebrate. Let's say we would like to have a party for Vinco, but since it's IEEE, we wanted to have a bit of a technical flavor. So I put in a title. I need to put in a bit of a description. So let's just say that 4 to 5 singers nanoelectronics, IoT, what else? Let's say academic research. That should be interesting. And so this, like, it's going to be the most exciting party in the world if we're going to have songs on these topics. Location, let's just say we're going to go with Zagreb. I'm not sure, Vinco, if you're located there these days, but it's still Croatia. If it was a virtual opportunity, I would just go ahead and click the box for online opportunity, and then I would just leave the location blank. Let's say it's going to be a humanitarian event. I would like people to have some experience. And now the important part is actually asking me what skills do I want people to have. So going quickly, so I put nanotechnology, IoT, academic research, project management. So let's go. Nanotechnology, we have that. IoT, we have that as well. Academic research, project management. Academic research is right here. And let's see, project management. Project planning and management, close. Okay. Duration, let's say it's going to take us maybe 6 hours. Number of volunteers needed, let's go crazy and say 15. But again, if you need, just one person to be a webmaster, or if you need someone to, for example, help you with a new webinar program you're running or anything like that, you just have to enter the number of people you actually need. Duration, approximate hours. This is the duration of the whole opportunity. So for example, you see that you have the start date and end date and the hours, because some opportunities you might hold a position for 1 year, but within that 1 year, you're probably only going to actually work for about 10 hours or so. Or in the case of the IEEE Extreme competition, which I hope you guys are familiar with, it's a one-day event, but you will need to be on the ground for 24 hours straight. So let's just say in this case, it's going to be 6 hours. Let's go ahead and say it's going to be at the end of the month. So we get the SIP done with, Vinco gets to have a bit of a break, and then we go ahead and have the event. Now, the platform also allows you to upload a thumbnail image. You can upload something that's relevant, but if you want, you can just leave it blank, in which case the platform automatically generates a thumbnail image for your opportunity. And another thing you can do is upload any other relevant materials. So for example, if you have a more detailed description of the position, or a bit of information about the team people would be joining, or the program they would be working in, or anything you think would help people when they're browsing opportunities, you can go ahead and upload it on the platform and people will be able to see it. But for the sake of this demo, let's say I'm fine with this. Let's go ahead and preview the opportunity. As you can see, the platform automatically generates a bunch of tags. So it's a quick task since it's only 6 hours. It's based in Zagreb, Croatia. If it was online, it would generate a tag that would say it's online. But yeah, I think it looks good for now. So I'm going to go ahead and publish it. And now if any of you are actually currently on the platform and logged in, at this point in time, you would be able to actually find this opportunity on the platform. And I see that right now 41 volunteers actually match my opportunity. So as I mentioned, the platform does automatically match people with opportunities to give them an idea on how relevant opportunities are, but to also allow opportunity creators to recruit volunteers who might be a good fit. So I see there's quite a few people. There's one person who's 100% matched. That sounds really great. And then it goes 75 and so forth. If I see someone who's interesting, I can go ahead and send an invite. I'm only doing this to Jennifer because she's part of my team, and she knows about the fact that it's a demo. And at this point, I see that the invite was sent. And let's check Rafal, who's also part of the team. As I mentioned, he was the previous IEEE Young Professionals Chair, previous Region 8 Young Professionals Chair, and really, again, one of the, great volunteers of Region 8. So let's see, maybe I'm not sure if he's that suitable or not, so I can go ahead and check his profile. I see he has quite a bit of a bio. He's been a member for 13 years. I'm not sure if that's relevant in this case. He's a member of Photonic Society. I don't think Vinco is, so I'm not sure that's going to help me in any way, but I can see, right, has some skills. Well, maybe he's good enough. So let's go ahead and send him an invite as well. And another thing I can do actually is go ahead and just request more info from people. And what will happen at that point is that they will automatically get an email that tells them that they should submit a more detailed CV and why they actually want to be part of this opportunity. So let's say this looks good for now. I can go browse to the opportunity that I created, and here I get to actually manage everything. So for example, I can edit details if I want to change anything. For example, if the dates change, if I want to change the skills or the description or add more files or anything, I can do that at any time. I can cancel the opportunity. I'll do that in just a few moments because I don't want to leave it on the platform. I can explore other volunteers and so forth. But most importantly, I go ahead to applicants, and here I see that Vinco has already applied to be part of his own birthday party. And then I can see that I invited Jennifer. I can cancel the invite at any time if I decide that I don't need her or whatever. But for now, let's go ahead and I think we should accept Vinco to his own birthday party. So I'm going to go ahead and accept him. And what happens at this point, Vinco actually will have to confirm that he indeed will be part of this opportunity. And once he confirms, I will be able to see him as part of my volunteer team. So we did this several step process because sometimes people might apply for several volunteering opportunities in hopes that they will get one. So it's similar to when you apply for jobs, right? You go ahead and apply for 50 jobs in the hope that you will get one. So in this case, if people get accepted for more volunteering opportunities, they will go ahead and confirm their participation in just one of them or however many they want. So let's see if Vinco actually confirmed his participation.
Flavia, well,
Yep.
Thank you for inviting me. We lost your screen, so
Oh,
could you please share it again?
okay. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, are you able to see it now?
Yes, it's back.
Okay, perfect.
We're looking forward to the results.
Yes, so once you accept the invitation, as I mentioned, he will be part of my volunteering team, and this will be all the volunteers who I actually accept as part of the application. Now, when I go to my volunteering, my opportunities tab, I can see that now it shows up as part of my active opportunities. I have Vinco, which I accepted earlier. out of 50 volunteers, so I still need to find 14 of them before the 30th of September. And also, if there will be more people who would actually apply for this opportunity, it would show up under items that need action. So the platform will automatically prompt me that something has changed and I need to go ahead and take care of it. So as I mentioned, I see Rafal has applied and Philip as well. And at this point, I have the option to either accept or decline. So Rafal, I do apologize. I'm going to decline your application. And then the platform asks me if I do want to really decline that person's application or not. If I do go ahead and decline it, I can always undo at any time. But once I decline it, Rafal will get an email saying that, sorry, they didn't make the cut, but please do try again. And I can go ahead and accept Philip as well. And again, once I accept them, they will actually have to confirm their participation before they are part of my volunteering team. But in the interest of time, I'm just going to go ahead and cancel this opportunity to make sure that nobody gets their hopes up. And once you cancel an opportunity, it does ask you for a reason why you do so. So the people who have been accepted for this opportunity or have applied for it will get a notification that it has been canceled and the reason. So I will just write that this was a test for the and I do want to cancel it. So at this point, since it's a live platform, I don't want to leave any sort of mess behind me. And it will show up under my completed opportunities. So there you can actually keep track of all the opportunities you canceled in case there's something. For example, you wanted to host an event, but it had to be canceled because of the COVID situation. But there is a point in the future when you will do that event again. You can simply just revive the opportunity and use it in the future. So at this point, people on the platform shouldn't be able to see the opportunity again, but you as the creator, you're able to track what you've done. Now, for the last part of the demo, I'll just switch to our testing platform. I do want to highlight the fact that this is not the live platform. It's simply a mirror image. We get to test features and everything, so you're going to see a lot of frankly rubbish content on it. They're just for the purpose of testing. So none of the users are real. None of the opportunities are real. Nothing on it is actually valid except the functionality. But I wanted to show you what it would look like once the platform is a bit more used. So I'm logged in right now as a fellow, simply called a life member. And this fellow has 17 items that need action, 1 active opportunity, 7 complete opportunities, and 1 endorsement. But what I wanted to show you is actually how to provide the feedback and endorsements, which I mentioned earlier. So what I did, I already set up an opportunity that took place. It's been done and dusted. My volunteers have confirmed they finished their work. So what I'm going to do is go ahead to my volunteers tab. I see that feedback is pending. And for this opportunity, I had 2 fellows called Jerry and John. So let's go ahead and provide them feedback. I think Jerry did a great job, so I would like to endorse him because he seems like a great volunteer to me, and I'll provide him some feedback that great job was working with him. Okay, I'm gonna provide his feedback. And now let's say John wasn't really that great. He didn't do much. He didn't show up to right, he didn't help with the planning or anything. So I'm not going to endorse him, and I'm going to provide some feedback because frankly, I don't think that he was all that great. And I'll say that maybe I'll be nice about it. So say, or something along those lines, right? And again, it's a volunteer. I don't want to be harsh, but that's basically the process of, quick and simple, provide feedback, endorse the volunteers you think did a good job, provide a few good words, or give people a few pointers on what they should improve on, what the experience was like. And really quickly, I will show you the final part of the demo, which is Jerry's account. We just provided him with some feedback. So let's just quickly go there. Jerry is one of our more popular accounts. We provide a lot of endorsements. As you can see, it has 20 endorsements, a lot of activity, a lot of stuff he needs to take care of. But if I go to his profile, since he has so many opportunities, you can actually see that he has a volunteering CV. And this is what I mentioned, that's automatically tracked by the platform. Once he completes an opportunity, it's added to the CV. I can go ahead and download it, and he can use this for any other NNA nominations and appointments within IEEE, or for any awards applications. I think this is taking a long time to load. But basically, it does allow him, it just provides a very simple PDF file with everything he's done that he can use in whatever way he sees fit. And he doesn't have to put in any effort into actually remembering what he's done. Okay, so that's pretty much the functionality of a platform at a glance. There is an opportunity to become an ambassador that you will find live on the platform. If you're interested in helping out with getting more people to volunteering for IEEE and helping identify volunteering opportunities, please do apply. If you have any questions about it, you can also reach out to us. I think the platform, on the platform, the opportunities taken care of by Jennifer, so you can also reach out to her. And that was pretty much a quick run through to this new platform and what we think volunteering will be like in the future for IEEE. Thank you for your attention. And as I mentioned, if you have any questions or interests or would like to learn more about it, please drop us an email at volunteering@IEEE.org. Or go on the platform and explore it at your own leisure. We would love to see a lot more groups across IEEE getting involved, and we think Region 8 is a really great place for people to volunteer. So Vinko, I do apologize that we just have one more minute. So I see, do you think we have enough time to go through any of the questions?
Hi, Flavia. Yes, well, we have 15 more minutes for the session. So you have 4 questions so far from the audience.
Okay.
So the highlighted one is, could we also have some limited volunteering activity for non-members so that especially students can feel what being an IEEE member is like?
So this is actually a huge debate that we've been having, if non-members should volunteer for IEEE or not. And a lot of groups across IEEE have very different ideas. Right now, because of how the platform was set up, they are able to browse the opportunities but not apply, because we wanted to position volunteering as a membership benefit. But we got a lot of requests to have non-members apply for opportunities. So this is likely something we will do next year as part of the second release, I guess you can call it. So right now it's not possible, but it's something that we are looking at for the future.
Okay, thanks, Flavia. Yeah, this is always the question, but I guess you can always ask a local volunteering what's an option to volunteer for IEEE.
Mm-hmm.
These things perhaps, well, if it wasn't for the epidemic situation, it would be much easier.
Yeah, exactly. But that's, I mean, I do think it's an interesting debate on, whether someone should be a member to volunteer or not. Because on one hand, as members, we do pay the membership fee that supports all our activities. But on the other hand, sometimes people just want to get a taste of what it's like and get to meet a few people and, see what it's like to be part of IEEE. And then, they would choose to become a member or not. So it's quite a bit debate. But we thought that for the future, one thing we could do is that opportunity creators would mention if non-members are eligible for that opportunity or not. So basically, there will be some opportunities for non-members, but there are also opportunities where, of course, you do need to be a member. So we are looking into that.
Okay, so the next question is volunteering procedures explained in IEEE main website? How to volunteer, I guess, and how to start.
So there is actually a web page with volunteering resources. I'm not really sure how up to date it is. Let me just try and get the link for you, but it's more about volunteers who are already in a position. But this was the gap this platform would fill, because previously there wasn't any easy way to actually find opportunities. So maybe some sections would send a newsletter that would have volunteering opportunities, or several times a year there are calls for volunteers at a higher level. But we wanted to make sure there is a way to volunteer for smaller tasks and sort of make it more centralized, as opposed to having to check 50 different websites and newsletters. And, right now there is no friendly way of finding volunteering opportunities besides this platform. But I'm just going to post in the chat. This is the link that IEEE currently has on their website with volunteer resources. So it sort of points you in several useful directions, but as I mentioned, it's mostly for people who are already volunteers. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, so the next one is any timeline to launch this fascinating platform?
So as I mentioned, right now it's live. The opportunities you see on the live platform are real opportunities. They're not us messing around with texts or anything. So you can already go ahead and log in with your account, set up your profile. But what we are doing right now is actually working with groups across IEEE to get more opportunities. We would like to have at least, say, 30 or 40 before we start actively publicizing it to people. So for example, posting on social media or anything like that, because we want to make sure that once people go on the platform, there is some content for them to see and there are some opportunities. Maybe there's, not an opportunity that's relevant to them or in their area. But it would be a starting point, and it would be much better than having them going to an empty platform, which is what happened during the pilot when we did this huge push to get members onto the platform, and there was absolutely no volunteering opportunity for them. So they never came back because, well, imagine going to Facebook and there's nobody else there. So right now we're working, we had a call last Friday with part of the Humanitarian Activities Committee in relation to Sampath's presentation earlier. We're having calls with Region 10, with other groups across IEEE to make sure that we start putting more opportunities for people. But it also comes down to, student branches and affinity groups and chapters going ahead and putting opportunities in there for their members. So right now we're looking at that. We do hope we're going to reach 30, 40 opportunities by the end of September. And then we're going to start publicizing it to members a bit more widely. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, and this one was asked by my teammate Abdulatif. So Abdul, that is our next to-do list right after the Congress. We will start advertising to the sections, to the affinity groups, and we will kick it off. This is in fact one of the premier announcements of the platform.
And actually, I think right now we have only one ambassador from our team, which is Jose, who's part of the IEEE Professionals Committee. But we're also looking for more ambassadors from the region and sort of, as you mentioned, Vinko, people helping us to reach out to local teams and encourage them to post opportunities.
Okay, so the next question is there anything virtually happening in Lebanon? So this is a good timing. Sorry, Flavia, let me answer this one as it is in Region 8. So it is a really good timing because next session starting in 8 minutes is exactly organized by Lebanon section and their students in the affinity groups. We also had a Lebanese Congress some 2 months ago. We broadcasted it over our Connecting Experts part of the program, and they had 13 different sessions there. So there is a lot happening in Lebanon, really. It's one of the most active affinity groups, at least from the young professionals perspective. So how to get involved in them, just Google Lebanon section, IEEE Lebanon section, and look under the student activities or student representative or young professionals, whatever the part you're interested in. That also applies for any other section, I would say. Or if you wish, also just send us an email and we will put you in contact with the people for the volunteering opportunity. That is before this volunteering platform starts really operating, let's say, a few months from now.
Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, if there is a virtual opportunity on the platform, it doesn't matter where you are. And this is what, right, we do want to encourage more virtual volunteering opportunities because these days, it's quite challenging for a lot of parts of the world to actually have in-person meetings. But also a lot of times you need people with very specific skills and you might not find someone in your own volunteering group. And right at that point, it doesn't really matter if the person lives in your neighborhood or across the world. So we do hope to see a lot more virtual engagement and, you know, help connect people around the world to volunteer together.
Okay, very good. I hope it was a good answer. And the next question is there a mobile platform in plan? Mobile app?
So there isn't a separate app. The platform itself is mobile responsive. That's because IEEE already has a mobile app. There's actually, if you go to the App Store or Google Play or anywhere else that you search for IEEE, you're going to find a lot of mobile apps. And we thought putting another one on top of everything doesn't really make sense. So the website itself is mobile responsive. And what we're working on is actually integrating it with the current official IEEE app. So you're going to be able to see a feed of volunteering opportunities on the app, and that will connect you to the actual platform. But we're not planning to have a separate standalone application just for the sake of simplicity.
Yes, well, let's give it a way to go with the platform, then we'll see how it evolves. Definitely. Okay, so another question is, how small opportunities can we announce, microwaving towards large projects?
It can be as small as you want. Really, there are no limits. And this is why we just wanted to keep it generic with IEEE volunteering, because if you need someone to be there for 1 hour or even half an hour to help you, well, nowadays it's probably not the case, but if you need someone to help you with setting up an event, for example, or to help you with a registration booth, or if you would need to pick up speakers at the train station or airport, or all of these things we used to do before COVID, you could put that in the platform. Or if it's nowadays, if, for example, you just need someone to create a couple of graphics for a webinar you're hosting, that can go on the platform. So really, there's no limits to what opportunities you can post. If it's something that's right, the platform I think does have a limitation, right? As I showed, you have to put the duration in hours. I think the limit is 1 hour, but right, anything as small or as big as you want, it can go on the platform. As it turns out, there's already an opportunity there that's a 2-year engagement. So really, anything you need volunteers for can go in there. And also another thing I wanted to mention is that the current list of skills and opportunity types can be updated. And we already informed some of the groups we're working with that, for example, if there's a specific project that they're looking for volunteers, and it's sort of a longer project, like a 2 to 3 year project, we're happy to create a new volunteering opportunity category that's just for that. So it'd also be easier to track, what engagement they get, or people could just filter based on that. And also we do know that the skills that are on the platform is pretty much a basic list right now. There's a lot of people who told us that for some technical areas, we need to go into a lot more detail. So that's something that we're going to update over time. But if you have any sort of requirements that the platform doesn't meet right now, please do send us an email. And we're also happy to look into it to see if there's any updates in those areas that we can make to fit your needs, or to sort of expand the capabilities of the platform, at least in terms of skills. And anything that's in the drop-down menus we can do really easily. But if it comes to more, big and fancy features, that will sadly have to wait till next year, but we're already collecting ideas. So I hope that answers the question. It was a really long reply.
Well, this is all of the questions, Flavia, and we are really just perfect in timing. And for my part, let me thank you once again for joining us and supporting this Congress. And thank you also for the birthday wishes. I really do hope that some of you apply for the role that Flavia created on the volunteering platform.
Or at least reach out to us or post opportunities for your respective groups. We love to see engagement and the platform slowly coming to life. And as always, thank you, Dinko. Thank you, Vinko. Thank you, for the whole organizing team, and for all of you guys to actually attend this session.
It was certainly a pleasure. Okay, so we are finished with this session. Next one is for the Lebanon section, and you can see their content. They are really broadcasting it directly from Lebanon, and they're completely organizing it. So enjoy that part as well. It's a little bit more of the career perspective, especially in this situation of COVID. So goodbye from this session, guys.
Thank you. Goodbye, guys. Take care.